people asking, am I playing Master Boot Record again? Yes, I am. I cannot pronounce the name of the song. Bulug Gegbug Ibgabiag Gixkura Dagab Sia Fuk. That's wrong. Just in case you're wondering, that's not how you pronounce that, but it's my best shot. Yeah, there's a limited... My ability to play music is slightly limited now, because if I try to play copyrighted music, I'll get in trouble. And I already get into enough trouble, so fuck it. I asked the guy, can I play his music on my streams? And he said, sure, go for it. So I'm like, okay. I'll play your music on my streams then. Hello everybody. This has been a stressful week. I've been under well, it's not really external influence. I'm just having to think about shit. It's the Christmas season, which is the season that you technically speaking, I think January 21st is the day you're most likely to kill yourself in the year, because that's when you have to think about like the entire season and the new year and shit. And it's as things wind down, you start dwelling on shit. And I'm not like depressed. I'm fronted with mathematical complexities in my continued existence, and I'm trying to figure out how to fit everything into the boat with the resources that I have available to me. And it's quite difficult, to say the least. It's just like I was looking like here's an example of the mathematical complexities that bother me. After the Chris Chan stuff earlier this year, the forum numbers shot up in terms of logged in users up to like 16,000 every day. And that tapered off from like 5,000 active users on any given time to down to about 3,000 to 4,000. And that happens because of the DDoS attacks. Like people can't use a website that's not up, right? So how the fuck do you... Like, what do? The answer is you get DDoS filtering. Usually you just get DDoS filtering, right? And that's the end of it. But then the DDoS filtering that I have available to me doesn't want to appear with us, so I have to find my own. And what should usually be something that's negotiated between like a hosting provider or a data center and a company is instead negotiated between a guy who runs one website and doesn't really have any reliable income in these companies. So to permanently deal with the DDoS attack stuff, it's going to cost about $2,000 a month. And I really don't know how I'm going to do $2,000 a month. And the alternative is to just continue dealing with it poorly like I have been. But if the site's to grow, it has to have uptime. And I can't have uptime unless I have filtering. So that's something that's been bothering me, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. But I have to figure it out. So I mentioned last stream that I'd asked people to start using Brave, but like that's literally the answer. Is if people can use Brave, that helps a lot. And I don't mean to like just ask for money. I'm just saying, like when I do these streams, I talk about things that I think about during the week, and this is something that I've been thinking about all week. So I went out and I distracted myself by partaking in festivities, and that was fun. But now here I am. I'm having I have a meeting on Monday to talk about this and to see if I can get them to offer it for less, but. It's so frustrating, especially like if I want to add streaming and stuff, if I want to do it so that I can do my own streams on my own hardware, if I want to do it so that we have alternatives to like YouTube and shit for other people, and like if I want to have other people who do streams and I want to support them, I have to update our bandwidth anyways. We're at the maximum for a 1 gigabit per second line. I could open it up right now and tell you exactly how much bandwidth we're using. And it's going to be a little bit lower than at peak, because it's not peak hours right now. It's the middle of the day. But we're averaging about 800 megabits per second. So I'm like, it's up to 950, and it's just lingering between 600 and 900, and like that's the capacity for that line. And the next step up is a 10 gigabit per second line, and that's a new router. That's a new line, and it's many times more expensive than a 1 gigabit per second line. So it baffles me. It pushes at the edge of my capabilities to figure out how to keep everything afloat. And again, I'm not asking people to like do whatever, because I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm faced with. Tech incel cult. Ralph is trying to join RV. Oh, please do, Ralph. I want to see Ralph and pregnant May on that fucking IP2 RV for Christmas. That's my Christmas present from the universe to me. I would accept that as a gift. If you send me a single dollar in an envelope, I can't do anything with it. Like, the postage guys can't even take the money out of the envelope for me. I can only cash it if it's a check. I'd have to send it back to you. In fact, I sent out Christmas letters this month. I I don't want to spoil it, because I guarantee you one of the people I sent it to will post it. But I sent out nice handwritten letters to everyone that I could think of. Some as a joke and some not as a joke. Some as like a genuine thank you to like people that have supported the site over the last year. But it's pretty funny, because I made them very, very fancy. And it has like a custom postcard with like custom art for just my Christmas card letters and stuff. And I put a special thing on each one of them. So maybe if nobody post the one that they got, I'll post it myself. But I would like to see someone actually post ones that they received. Send you a Crimmy card? My Crimmy cards already went out, bro. Too late. And it's time consuming. I wrote the labels out by hand and everything. So, and you know how hard it is for me to write by hand. My handwriting is illegible. I take my time. A genuine thank you to those who support my diabolical agenda. Exactly. I have a very short Christmas list, so I might as well go out and remind people that I exist every so often, because we don't have that many friends. I have a clip from Nick Fuentes that I'm going to play where he's like, Gab is the only platform in the world that doesn't censor you. Gab is the only hope for the future. I'm just thinking, like, what is with the grifters and wanting to ally with Gab? I don't understand. It's like a magical thing about people like Andrew Torba and Ethan Ralph. It's how do people so profoundly retarded and useless manage to align themselves with people who punch way out of their weight? You know what I mean? Like, how do they do it? It's just incredible to me. Like, Andrew Torba is a literal pants shitting retard. I have seen this man run around in his backyard, huffing and puffing, like out of breath, screaming about tech censorship. And I remember I will send these people messages out of the blue. I will contact them and be like, look, I know exactly what's going to happen to you. I know that this is going to happen. I know that this is going to happen next. I know that this provider is going to drop you. You need to view X, Y, Z before, as soon as possible, because you will face these problems even if you don't think so. And then they'll either ignore me or they'll reply and they'll say like, no, we got it covered. Don't worry. And then everything that I say happens to them. There was one group called WeSearcher, and WeSearcher was like some weird alt tech trying to like be like a crowdfunding platform for conservatives. And I sent them a letter, and I said, like, this is what's going to happen to you, and this is futile. This is what's going to happen to you, word for word. This is what's going to happen to everybody who tries to host something like this. And they sent me a Twitter DM back, like word for word, saying, "We have thought about these problems, and we will solve them." End of sentence. Like, that's all they said. Like, okay, so you thought about them, but you just said like, oh, we're above it. We're so cool that we're just going to fix it. Like, we're going to snap our fucking fingers. We're so fucking awesome that we're just going to solve it for you. And I contacted one guy about DDoS filtering. And his solution was I should sell everything that I own. He wanted me to sell all of my hardware. He wanted me to transfer all of my domains to his registrar, which he owns by himself. and he wanted me to put everything that is the Kiwi Farms, everything that I host, directly on his hardware as some sort of like cloud platform, so that he would own everything, but I would technically own it, but he would have actual control over it. And this is like a guy that hosts actual, like, who hosts things for serious people, and he's like a little Chinese guy. He's like 22, and he's like rich off Chinese daddy money. So he comes to the U.S. and he goes into the university system. He sets up basically what I have set up, but he has it better because he has money for it. And then when people need hosting, they can't turn to anyone else. They turn to him. And he basically like takes it and hosts it all by himself, completely on his own hardware, and he controls it completely unilaterally without any sort of third-party involvement. And like large sites trust this guy, and he just kept trying to upsell me. Like I could give you a domain and filter for you, and I could, I guess, do like some sort of tunnel to give you DDoS filtering, but really you should totally upgrade to my ultimate package. And he like sends me all these messages, and I got mad at him, and I burned that bridge, and I said, like, dude, you know, this whole like snarky upselling bullshit is like a Chinese thing, and white people don't like that, just so you know. Like, I've been in Australia, I've been around Asians, I know that you guys love to upsell shit. But when you do that to white people, we get really irked out because it's aggressive and intrusive. And when we say no 3 fucking times, we actually mean that we're not interested. And I'm trying to be nice when I say no over and over again, but really, I'm not going to fucking do that. That's stupid. I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm not going to trust you with the keys to everything that I own. And he's just like, oh, okay, well, if you change my mind, LOL. And he's like acting like he has me like by the balls, like you wouldn't even be contacting me unless you actually needed this. And it's like, well, fuck you, brother. Like, I definitely need you, bro. That's like the sphere. I either have to like, that's the eventuality. I have to either trust Chinese people to control everything that I own, so that I can actually host it. I have to pay out of pocket for stuff that I don't have, or I can just give up and let the powers that be win. Is the stream choppy? Everything seems fine on my end. If it's choppy, let me know. It comes around. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very frustrating. Very frustrating week. And it's just like, you know, I have positions, I have assets. And usually when you look at the market, I don't want to talk too much about money because God knows I don't know money. But usually when you would expect things to be going down, when you see inflation going up, and put a Turkish flag in chat if you're from Turkey, because I want to share pain with you. But usually when things are going down, different assets go up. The money has high inflation, so gold and silver go up, or Bitcoin goes up. Right now, everything is down. And I'm really afraid because it's like, should I sell everything that I own to try and buy property? Is property going to go way up in the next year? Or is the property bubble going to burst next year and assets are going to go up and I'll have more money? So it's like a gamble, and I'm legit, like, I'll lay awake at night thinking about this. Like, should I just sell everything that I have and get in right now? Or am I it's literally FOMO. I'm afraid of missing out. And I'm afraid that I'll look back in a year and think, like, I had the ability to buy something that would have had more assurance to it than what I have right now. And I'm afraid that I'll look back on that and think, like, God, I really should have done that. I really should have just sold everything and gotten something real. It's like, it's terrifying, and it prevents me from focusing on stuff that I actually want to. Hold and buy more silver, yeah. I have a diverse cut. I have stocks, I have crypto, I have precious metals, and I'm just trying to build up a little bit for myself. And now I'm just like terrified. It's like, should I just sell everything and buy a plot? It's very frustrating. So, I mentioned Turkey, by the way, because of this. Turkey is experiencing inflation, and that's also making me afraid, because if it's happening in Turkey, is it going to spread? You know what I mean? Many Turks can't afford bread, and bakers can't afford it. Squeezed by rising costs, price controls, and plunging sales, bakers warn of ruin while their impoverished former customers line up for government-supplied loaves. So here's those bread lines that Bernie Sanders said was so great. The gist of this is, and let me just pull this up real quick. Turkish lira to USD. I need like a graph of it. Graph. They have had serious inflation, and I do need like an actual fucking graph of this shit. Here we go. Here's the situation Turkey's in, and I'm looking at this, and I'm also shitting myself. You can see that it's usually about 7 lira to the dollar, 8 lira to the dollar throughout 2021. And then as of November, it shoots up from about 9 to 10 lira to dollar to 16. So since the beginning of this year, the Turkish lira has halved in its value comparative to the US dollar. So if you had $1,000 worth of lira in December this last year, you now have half of that. Your money is just gone. Half of your money is just fucking gone. And is it going to get worse? Is it going to get better? Probably not. is it going to get worse everywhere? Maybe. So, yeah, it spurs anxiety. And I look at this, and one of the other things that is of interest is how much the economy is a spook. If you know the meme about Max Stirner and how everything is fake, everything's a spook, and you should just do whatever you want. But the economy is literally a spook. The economy doesn't exist outside people. The economy is literally just people doing business with each other. So how people feel about something quite literally affects the economy. It's a mass delusion shared between people, the value of things. You know, there's certain essentials, but for the most part, how much a lira is worth versus a dollar is just millions of people like plugged into like the Matrix and having like a daydream together. It's all bullshit. It's all complete and total fucking bullshit. People get scared that the Turkish lira is going to lose value, so they sell, and that causes it to lose value. You know what I mean? It's insanity. So one day people might just feel like, oh shit, the economy's in trouble. I'm going to stop spending my money. And then they do that, and then the economy collapses. And it's only because people believe that the economy would crash. You know, it's like it's psychotic. It's painful to even think about. Just hold. It's one big gaslight. Oh, you've invested in Among Us figurines. That's true. Vinyl is going to quadruple in value. I'm hallucinating that as we speak. There's one line and it never goes down. Chantal Nadir. Oh, does I Hypocrite talk about this? I don't know. I don't like talking about serious topics, but I feel I'm hard pressed to find some joy. I'll try to be more joyous and merry as the stream goes on. But for now, I'm just going to kill time. Kill time thinking about lines and graphs and shit because it's bumming me out. You will own nothing and be happy. That's me. Oh, speaking of my bread lines, I did not have pizza today. I've come to the conclusion that the best way to consume pizza will be on Sunday. I will just not eat on Saturday. I'll eat today. I did eat today, and I'll just eat my pizza on Sunday. And it will be pizza Sundays. That is the only way to do it. You wish me a Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas, Cries 8210. Pizza Day is not canceled. It's simply been moved. You can still eat your pizza on Friday. Don't let me tell you how to live. You're not the one that has to talk into a microphone, all bloated and shit. Has Ralph been up to anything interesting this week? I'll get to that. Only one real interesting thing has happened with Ralph. He's he sold his. He was the first one who got like a special Stone Toss NFT to sell it. He got 2.5 Ethereum, which he sold it at like a low point in Ethereum's value recently. So he got $9,000 for it. I don't know if he's sold it already, that Ethereum. But he got around $9,000 worth of Ethereum, 2.5. I think after the fees and stuff, it was 2.2 Ethereum. So, very nice Christmas gift from Stonetos to Ralph. Though Sam Hyde sold his Flirk after Ralph did for $300,000. So Sam Hyde is worth approximately, let's do some math here. I'm not good at math. You know how that is. Sam Hyde is worth approximately 33.3 gunts, in case you're keeping track. Now, the gunt economy is in constant flux. I believe the gunt is deflating in value compared to the Sam Hyde. So we may see that Sam Hyde is worth only 25 gunts by the end of the year, but we could see up to 50 gunts if Ralph goes to jail. And the content, if he goes to jail, confidence in the gunt will decrease, and a Sam Hyde will be worth up to 50 gunts by the end of the year. But this is purely speculative. The value goes up and down all the time. It's a madhouse. It's a casino. It's a literal casino to trade between gunts and hides. Gunt only inflates. Okay, since you said that, I have to pull this up. He's so proud of this that he actually retweeted this as if it's not a monumental embarrassment to him that he eats like this. Hold up. Where's this fucker at? I know it's around here somewhere. He tweets so fucking much. He's like a serious... I think he's more addicted to Twitter than he is to the casino. If he ever got banned from Twitter, he might hang himself. Why does Pantsu never wash her fucking hair, man? Oh, you know what? I can't find it on his thing because Pantsu was the one that tweeted it. She tweeted out his breakfast or something. Hold on. I actually have to find this because otherwise I'm going to be insane. What's her handle? It's Sad and Trad. And she stopped tweeting as much for whatever reason. Is this thing gone? Has he deleted this? Did he feel shame about this sandwich and delete it? I need the thing that is the greasy bread that Ralph eats. It's literally bread that's been fried in a pan with grease. And I swear to God, one of them tweeted it. I feel like I'm going crazy. Not the sandwich. Oh, wait, here. Oh, okay. It was someone else who tweeted it. Here, look. This is what Ralph eats. Peanut butter French toast with maple syrup fried in bacon grease. This will be illegal someday. Look at this. You can't eat this. This is like a Reddit post. Like, remember when bacon was like a huge meme and people were freaking out about bacon and be like, oh my God, I want like bacon flavored perfume, man. And they were like soy jacking. Like, this is literally this shit. And this is what this man eats. This is why the gunt is inflating. This is why, if you were smart, you would short the gunt. He's already shorted. He's been shorted pretty hard, but you can still short him and make a tidy profit. You can convert that to hides. That's a longer term investment. Base keto diet. That is fried bread. That is not keto, asshole. What was I talking about? I was talking about Turkey. Sucks to be Turkish. I saw a post that was like, Greeks and Turks pretend to hate each other, but then in reality they're both just like, do you have any money? No. Do you have any money? No. And then they just put aside their differences because they're both completely destitute. Very sad in many such cases. Chantal, dude, I'm not gonna like interrupt my flow to get Chantal. I don't even have shit for her lined up, to be honest. What am I gonna say? Guess what, chat? Oh, they broke up and got back together again. You know what? There's a video posted on my profile. Here's your Chantal update. Chantal is currently driving around the streets of Ontario crying about how she's abused while getting back together and breaking up with this guy literally every other fucking day. And then meanwhile, Nadir is just doing whatever the fuck you would call this. Wait, I might have to find... Let me find the, I have a video for this somewhere. Here. This is like a super cut of him dancing. Keep in mind,
real men do that.
At the time that he's doing this,
real man. So if you have problem with somebody, if you're real man, come meet with me.
While he's doing this, Chantal's like crying. She's driving to Burger King crying on live stream about
nobody
how
move one here on my
or something.
And I'm here because the people support me, because the people see I'm real.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Turkey. Well, actually, he's not from Turkey. He's from Egypt. I even had someone, I was talking about that term, éclaté, and I had some Arab guy on my last stream comment about how éclaté means my sister in like some other flavor of Arab. And he thought I was just like retarded. Like, why does this guy keep saying my sister? And he means like my brother. And then he looked it up, and éclaté in Egyptian Arabic does mean my brother. And he was like angry in the comments saying like, fucking Egyptians, they don't even know how to speak Arabic. Éclaté means my brother. Little bitch. Fuck Egypt. It's like, bro, calm down. Oh, here's why crypto's going down. Look at this. Openly says Salvadorian drag queen Marvin Plites has emerged as an unconventional adversary to the country's president Nayib Bukele. Lady Drag tricked to the streets when Bitcoin became legal tender alongside the US dollar in September. These powers are too strong for my stinky Bitcoins. I can't look at this. Look at this man wearing a wig who can somehow afford to wax his chest to put on a no Bitcoin sign, but he cannot shave his beard. I guess the not shaving the beard is like a deliberate non-binary statement, right? It's like this guy's saying like, actually I'm blending the lines. I can't tell if I'm a man or a woman, even though having a beard and pecs obviously means I'm a woman or a man. Oh well. That's the Chantal update, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, I mean the biggest thing that happened this week is that fucking Hassan guy got banned. Here, this is what he got banned for. Hassan is like one of the richest live streamers in the entire world. He's one of those bread tumors, I think. He's one of those people who goes on and makes literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I think even a month. I think he's one of those guys who made literally like $600,000 a month off of YouTube. And then he gets on YouTube and is like, rich people are bad. White people are bad. Fuck white people. Fuck rich people. We should have global health care. We should have universal basic income. We should have breadlines. And he got banned from Twitch for this, which is interesting.
You why it's not the same in the video that you refused to watch and just wrote that argument against. Who are you arguing against? Who asked? Who said this? Did I say, oh my God, saltine cracker? Like people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said. You dumb cracker bitch. Okay. You why it's not.
So he said cracker. He said the C slur, which if you don't know, the C slur is a pejorative slur used against people without color. So that would be the Caucasoids, the Caucs, the Slavoids. Speculatively, the Mediterraneanoids might be included in this, the Germanoids, and unfortunately, even the Angloids must be considered people without color. Now, scientists are trying to determine if the Jerusalemites and the Khazars are these Caucasoids. It depends. It depends. It's contextual. They can be considered people without color for the purposes of telling people without color that they should allow people with color to be in their country. But when it comes to hate speech legislation, they are actually a minority with color. And the color is blue. They have a blue heart. It's on the inside. That's what counts. So people without color were offended by him using the C slur. And he was reported to Twitch staff, and Twitch staff took immediate action. And from what I understand, Vaush also said he shouldn't be banned for saying cracker bitch, so he also got banned. And from what I understand, the official logic for this is that because he is a Twitch partner, he is actually bound by more strict rules on speech than anybody else. So it's pretty hard to say him calling her a stupid cracker bitch is not racially charged. He's calling her dumb and implying that she's dumb because she's white, allegedly, presumably. So that seems racially charged. And usually when we say, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Nothing ever happens. But recently, I have noticed something very strange. I have noticed that on Twitch, you have Hassan Abi, who claims to be a cracker himself, by the way. I don't think that's true. I do not think that someone named Hassan Abi is a cracker. He looks pretty not crackerish to me. He looks kind of Egyptian at the best of times, right? But I mean, he's not a cracker, and we don't give him the C word pass. Speaking on behalf of all crackers everywhere. And actually, it's very offensive because I think he even said cracka with a soft A, which is racist, whereas white people are allowed to call each other crackers with a hard R because we speak properly. So when cockoids talk to each other, they'll make sure to say cracker with a hard R. And when people of color are being pejorative against them, they'll use a soft A, cracka, which is offensive and should be banned. What I've noticed is that on Twitch, they're saying that they don't want racism towards white people. Interesting take, right? People have been wondering, why is racism against white people allowed for quite some time, since at least 2016. And now Twitch is taking a stand against that. And then also, I'm imagining we're going to see similar anti-white racist videos on Facebook and YouTube taken down, because I have noticed for the first time, I've been around for a while, and I've been noticing that Google Doodles are almost always black people. They're weird black people nobody has ever heard of, whose contributions do not matter, who are not important in any way, shape, or form to the history of my country or anything that I care about. They're not mathematicians, they're not scientists, they're not explorers, they've done nothing. They've invented some bullshit, or they were civil rights activists, but they always get a Google Doodle. And then in the last couple months, just the last few months, I started seeing white people. I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I click on a doodle. I'm like, this can't be a white person. This has to be Jewish. And it's like, no, this is a non-Jewish Catholic Dutch artist. He's important. He made paintings that were important in the Enlightenment. I'm thinking, what the fuck? What is happening? Why is there a white person on my monitor? I'm scared. I'm frightened by this development, chat. How is this? What is this? Is this a psyop? Are they invading my mind? Are they trying to turn me gay? What is happening? And I think what it is that the powers that be have conducted a 4-year research experiment to determine what the effects are of blasting people with anti-white propaganda constantly with absolutely no reprieve. And they've determined that more people are racist than ever. And they said, fuck. What are we gonna do now? Let's add a little bit of people without color to our lineup. Let's just add a little bit. We'll give them an inch. We'll give them just an inch so that they can't say, look, there has never been a Google Doodle in the last 6 years of a non-Jewish, non-gay white person who has done something important. We'll just give them one, like once every little bit, so that they can at least say that we can say that, look, it's right here. This Dutch guy, he painted some shit. That's white. And then they have to shut the fuck up because we did it. And then on Twitch, say, well, why can't I be racist against black people? Because you don't ban racism against white people. How's that fair? Then go, look, we banned Hassan, motherfucker. Then you just got to shut the fuck up, because they totally did. They're totally right. And now I'm convinced that this is being done because they are trying to completely Remove politics altogether. They do not want politics in any form. They do not want people like Hassan Abid to be on their platform with radical politics. They don't want any of this shit. They don't want any of it whatsoever. They don't want people thinking at all. They want people to watch the titty streamers in the bathtubs or whatever the fuck. They want people playing the hottest new Call of Duty. They want Google to be like trusted again. They don't want people fleeing from Google because it's considered like a racist like cult that's trying to divert your attention to shit that's obviously against your interest and not true. And they just like, we want advertisers and we want people to not think. I think that's the gambit. That has to be it. Because what else could it be? And I think it's hurting. It's hurting everything. Everything is worse off than it was in 2015. Since Trump descended down that elevator, everything has been declining at a exponential rate. Everything is hyper political. Everything is like super sensitive. Everything is like us versus them. And like, what if things were reversed? What if things were reversed? That's not fair. What if things were reversed? Like constantly. And they're just trying to wind that back just a little bit. Just a little bit so that it's not so obvious all the time. Also, I'm going to make a prediction. I posted this on Post, but I'm going to reiterate it. I was having a discussion, and I realized that this is probably going to be a reality in the next few years. I'm convinced that Overwatch was a game designed to test the theory that a game could become a mediocre, shitty game could become a sensation entirely through porn-driven advertising, and it worked. Because I had never heard of Overwatch until this porn was everywhere, constantly. And I'm convinced that there will be a game in the next, I said 5 years on Post, but it could be a year at this point. I predict that very soon there will be a game that is entirely porn that will be mainstream. Not just like a porn game, but like the objective is, it's like a VR, I'm thinking like a VR FPS, generic bland FPS, no real innovation. But if you win, you will rape the other players. Just actually rape them. That will be a cutscene at the end of the game. The winning team gets to rape the other players, and that'll be it. That'll be the selling point, and it will be a sensation. It will sell as many fucking copies as you can possibly imagine, and it will just be like, maybe it'll be Overwatch 2. You win the game, you rape the other team. I think that will be the actual game, and it will be super successful. And I think I just see it coming. I don't know why. I think it's coming. And we're just gonna normalize it. We're gonna pull the bandage off. We're just gonna normalize it. When your kid turns 12 years old, and the ESRB says that Rape Watch 2 is suitable for them. Pornography is a valid way to explore your sexuality in a developing mind. So as long as your kid's over 12, then you can get them the VR headset, because you don't want to see what's on their screen. And just get them Rape Watch 2, and it'll be the biggest game of the entire decade. It'll change everything forever. Steam bans rapage. I don't know. They won't call it rape. We'll say it's surprise sex. Surprise sex watch 2. It'll be a smash hit. No, he complained about something here. Shut your saltine ass up, you fragile little bitch. He says to someone, saying that you deserved it. And he says, streams I won't be able to do despite having lined up some fire content. Gingerbread house building with all the LA streamers tomorrow, because I guess there's crackers involved. Amarath hot tub stream on Thursday. Oh, he's not going to be able to stream with the titty streamer. That's crazy. That's crazy to me that they actually just sell porn. Twitch does. You just go to Twitch TV and there's like titty streamers on the front of your fucking site. And it's like, why is this a thing? I don't know why. It's just depressing, I guess. Oh, here we go. Amaranth gives Lily Pichu a makeover. Oh, this is popular clips. Amaranth gives Lily Pichu a makeover, and then spanking Self and Ming with a paddle. Tiongyi. This is like I'm looking at Twitch TV. This is on the front page. Whatever. Working, man. I'm gonna just stroke. I feel it. I feel it coming. Pray for me, Chad. I'm gonna have a stroke. Video games. What have I been watching? I've been watching, like, I think the last stream I watched is Harmful Opinions play that Valorant or whatever. Okay. Whatever. Here. Now I'm gonna get mad at Fuentes. I got mad about Fuentes because someone told me some stuff he had been saying, which was just like eye rolling, but actually, it was this clip. I have this loaded up, actually.
I mean, look, as long as Muslims want to put America first, then yeah, and that goes for everybody. You know, some of the, finest people in the movement happen to be Jewish, actually.
Oh, shit. Hold that thought. We'll come back to this clip. I did a stream on June a while back, right? And I said that what June needs to do is just settle down with some, like, simp in her audience. And she did. Daemonia Esquire says, God pilling this heathen. And for whatever reason, June refuses to look at the camera. I guess it makes her eyes look bigger, like an anime character or some shit. And then he's just sitting there, and they're like in a church or some shit. Now this guy I mean, he has a mask on. He looks kind of normal, but she just like picked some random. He's like a tradcath, I think. Let me pull up his profile actually. Daemonia Esquire. He has like an interesting profile history that I was just reading. Catholic lawyer, insightful young man, says Ingraham Angle. Wonderful, says Sohrab Amari. Terrifying energy, shoe on head. So he's a tradcath. She hooks up with him, and here's some choice tweets, which are pretty interesting. Can't believe I'm tweeting this again, but I figured I could share it. Last night between 3:40 a.m. and 4 a.m., I had the first demonic experience of my life. As a former atheist and someone who is dispassionate about this side of the faith, I know how that might sound, but this is something that must be shared. I awoke from a dream at about 3:40 a.m. last night and was turning in bed. I was awake. I know this because I checked my phone and opened this app. After about 2 minutes of laying in bed, I felt mounting pressure in my temple and on the crown of my head as if my head was being grabbed. It wasn't painful, but it was like a grip. Seconds later, I heard a voice. I didn't hear it like one hears things with their ears, but rather like one hears their own thoughts inside their head. The voice was deep and graveled, almost with vocal fry, too. Oh, so it might be me. That's the another evidence that I am the demon. I am tormenting this person using my my spectral powers, my demonic powers, and I'm speaking directly into this man's head. The voice was deep and graveled, almost with vocal fry too. It was not speaking English, but it understood. Well, that also sums up with me. I don't speak English very well, but I also understood what it was saying, like you guys do. The voice was telling me to renounce Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. It sounds absolutely bonkers, and I'm going to be dragged anyways. This voice was telling me to renounce Christ as I was frozen in bed with this pressure on my skull. I uttered the words, I love Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, but it was very tough to say. It took about 3 seconds to say each word, as if I was being constrained. The moment I said the last word, however, the pressure stopped, and I was in my bed as if all was normal. I was shaken. I'm shaken still. I am not the kind of person to believe this stuff happens when I hear it happens to other people. I don't believe them. I'm a skeptical guy who converted to Catholicism due to academic study. I've always struggled with the spiritual or metaphysical aspect of faith. I'm an educated, intelligent, sober guy, and I'm telling everyone this happened. I need to tell everyone this happened. So she picked up this guy, and to be honest, I mean, okay, he's schizophrenic, but she's a coal burner. We have to weigh these things. He looks kind of fat, but she has no hair. He's schizophrenic, but she's a coal burner. He's a lawyer, so he makes real money doing a job. She's internet famous. We have to wait. I'm saying probably in the same league. We have to be fair to this guy, and we have to say probably in the same league, right? Perfect match. His demon beliefs, by the way, go further than this, which I find interesting. In Texas, the Washington Post tweets this. In Texas, abortion laws wake. Support services are seeing more demand. Terry Haring, the founder of an anti-abortion nonprofit, helps women with rent, utilities, diapers, clothing, and other needs for up to 5 years after a child is born. So you can probably imagine that, the replies to this are fucking typical Twitter bullshit shit, especially like on a Washington Post Twitter account. But Oidemonia replies, came here expecting almost all of the replies to be from demons, and I was not disappointed. So he goes on Twitter, and he sees people saying stupid shit, and instead of just being like a normal person and thinking like, wow, these guys are retarded, he believes that they are literal demons. They sit there and they promote the Antichrist because they are possessed by demons. I guess like I'm possessed by Sanchu. And then they just say things on Twitter, which is why I suppose these people are such big fans of Gab, right? Because Gab has like a Bible verse on every page and stuff, and Andrew Torba is actively engaged in a non-stop exorcism from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to sleep. He is performing a ritual to protect his website from the internet demons who desire to post these anti-religious sentiments on the internet. Oh, by the way, he posted this as well. He gave a rendering of what this sleep demon looked like, and this is his description of it. This is our matchup. This appeared to him in the middle of the night and grabbed him by the skull and told him to renounce Christ, and he was horrified by this. And fortunately, he summoned all the strength that he had to keep his faith and not oblige the demons by renouncing Christ. So he was able to keep his faith in spite of the hardships. And we hope that this demon will leave him alone because it's truly terrifying. I almost feel like a bad person. I'm genuinely happy for her. She seems really desperate to like find like a guy and settle down. And I did literally suggest just pick one of your simps who knows like a real job and make it happen. You're running out of time. You got some baggage. Don't look for Mr. Perfect. He doesn't exist and you don't deserve him. So just figure this shit out real fast. And she did. So credit where credit's due, right? Matchmaker moon, exactly. I'm not a demon tearing people apart. I am a demon putting people together. So I'm a daemon, actually. Actually, if you want to be serious about this. June watches. She's here. No, I don't see a check mark. You guys are fucking with me. Maybe she's listening to this. Cupid. X-Poster manifested his succubus. That's pretty good. Oh no, she's right behind me. No. Demons can't haunt other demons. Get real, chat. You're being silly. You're being ridiculous. Being ridiculous right now. Anyways, back to this. Let's get a refresher in case you forgot.
I mean, look, as long as Muslims want to put America first, then yeah, and that goes for everybody. some of the finest people in the movement happen to be Jewish, actually.
Yeah, I bet they're the financiers. He's done a real backtrack. He's done a backtrack of like everything he said. And I really think that there's some sort of pressure that's like scaring him into. There could be several reasons for this, actually. Like, number one, okay, he could just be getting paid. Number two, he could just be getting scared into backing up a little bit, right? That's possible. But I have a third hypothesis. I have a third position, a third rail for this. I think that Nick Fuentes has endured so much scalding criticism from people who are like white nationalists that he doesn't like them anymore. That segment of his audience that will like hold him accountable to shit and call him out for getting fucked in the ass by Catboy Cammy, I think he hates those people. And I think that now at this point he wants people who are more docile, more willing to pay pig, more willing to like listen and believe and not like criticize him or hold him accountable in any way. I think that's what's happening. Because I don't think he's like super rich, and I'm not inclined to believe that he's being paid by like the federal government to be a retard. I really don't think that people need to be paid to be retarded. I think you can find other excuses. And I think at this point, Fuentes' deal is just that he's utterly like fed up by what was originally his core demographic. Those people hate him now. They find him embarrassing. They watch him skate around in Fortnite pajamas and strike out with women at the mall and think like, oh, you're not based and red-pilled, actually. You're like a little queer. You're like a little gay boy. You get fucked in the ass by Australians. That's not very cool. And then they just drop him. It's like that meme of Buzz Lightyear being thrown on the ground. It's like, oh, I'm done with you. Your novelty has worn off, Mexican white nationalist. On to greener pastures. Back to Pole I go. When's Josh gonna join Cozy TV? Never, ever. Like this guy, I know you're doing this. This motherfucker, he ats me and says, "How are you doing today, Josh?" And my notification was turned off, and then coincidentally, at the exact same time, my phone starts ringing. I see it ringing right now, motherfucker. What is this area code? I'm gonna read your area code. He's trying to get me. Trying to interrupt me with a jingle, and instead I'm just seeing Texas, San Antonio, Texas. Motherfucker, fuck you, fuck San Antonio. Maybe I'm getting called by Nick Fuentes. Maybe I'm getting called by Nick Fuentes' father, who's gonna curse me out in Spanish for calling his son gay. He's outraged by this. It would be funny if it was Washington D.C., but alas, we cannot be so lucky. Okay, so besides this, Beardson. I'm super like I'm not tuned into this shit. I don't fucking watch this shit. And I'm assuming that this is a joke because his thing is just like nonsense. Like his Gab timeline is just fucking nonsense. But what from what I understand, Nick Fuentes and like the America First people are all getting like bullied relentlessly on Gab, but they're still like shilling it constantly. So you have yet another centralized service ran by an absolute madman who is retarded, who cannot be trusted with anything, who makes horrifically bad financial decisions. He got like several $1 million in crowdfunding and he just wasted it. And he didn't put any of that money until after it was too late on securing Gab. So you could just use the Fediverse, but for whatever reason, people like Styx, Ralph, Beardson, Nick Fuentes, they refuse. They refuse to use something which demonstrably works. Do you guys know how big Post is? I would say even that Post, which is ran by Graph, and it's like, it's made, I think it's like its audience is mostly from 4chan, because I think Graph runs ads on 4chan. But Post is like bigger than the Kiwi Farms. It's probably as big as Gab is. He has to run like multiple servers, and he's directly contributing to the stream, the upstream for the Fediverse code, because he's one of the largest instances for the Fediverse now. And Post is as free, if not freer, than Gab is in like every demonstrable way, but it's on the Fediverse. So it's like, why the fuck would you not just join the Fediverse? And you would have direct contact to these people who would actually like you. And instead, they're like dedicated to this centralized honeypot full of like actual neo-Nazi LARPers, as opposed to like fun people who talk about politics but are not like psychotically devoted to it. You know what I mean? Like people who make politics like their entire life, and that's all they talk about, and they read the fucking news all day, and they get angry about shit, and they just like sit and stew and seethe and post online about shit that they have no control over. And I realize I'm a bit hypocritical, but I pick it up slowly over the week. And I think about it. I try not to let it control my entire day, but I swear to God, those people on fucking Gab are just like psychotic, completely worthless as far as an audience goes. So someone from chat on the Matrix picked out some timestamps about Nick Fuentes talking about shit, and I'm gonna trust this guy. I'm gonna play these timestamps completely blind and see if this was
anti-tech censorship.
Not a complete waste of time. My time. Okay, next.
Start reading random replies, and you'll get a little bit of a taste of what I mean here. Love the site. It's a great site. And I can't say it enough. Without Andrew Torba, there would be no anti-tech censorship infrastructure. It just wouldn't exist. Name one other platform that doesn't censor. It doesn't exist. I would know. Telegram now censors people.
Be right back. I'm running out of jokes. I'm running out of jokes to like recover being interrupted midstream now. What joke could I possibly tell? Okay, so he says that name one other platform where you're not censored on the internet. Obviously, Gab is like a retard, centralized dead end. Like it's like what people did the same thing with BitChute. They said name like everyone go to BitChute. Here's my BitChute. Everyone come to BitChute, and BitChute's like awful, completely ruined, a piece of shit. It's not like decentralized in any way. It's not redundant in any way. I don't know. Try anything else, bro. But no, he's stuck to Gab, and I don't understand why. And it makes me wonder if it's like just like a Christian LARP. Is it the Christian LARP? Is that what it is? That Nick Fuentes has to try and for the record, I don't trust anyone who are like loudly Christian. But the only thing that is loudly Christian about them is that they say they're Christian. The Christ is King people. Those people I trust the least. Like I know that PPP like knows stuff. You can kind of engage PPP and see that like he's actually read the entire Bible and he can quote scripture at you. I don't think Nick Fuentes can do that. I think that all he knows is Christ is King. He probably knows that one thing where what is it? It's like John 3:16 or something. It says something like Jesus is salvation, and that's it. And you might know that. Like even I, a retarded person, knows this off the top of my head. But that's it. I don't trust it. I don't trust any of these people, and they network with each other. And I think they have like an entire audience of like actual retards who believe this shtick and trust them only because they do the Christ is King LARP. And I fucking hate it.
Rumble now censors people. Gab is the only platform in America, maybe in the world, that will not censor you. And that's because of one guy. That's because of Andrew Torba. He could have sold out. He could have taken a big fat paycheck. He could have taken millions. And Gab would have been bigger, and it would have been cleaner, and it'd be on the App Store, and he'd be loaded. But it wouldn't have free speech. So he stuck it out. He's built this over years. It's a thankless job. God bless him. But I go on Gab, and here's my complaint. I make posts, innocent enough, and just people aren't really receiving me very well there. Everybody's
yeah.
so hostile.
Yeah. Someone pointed this out in chat. He
all
did make millions. Torba did make millions. Those people trying to make Twitter clones using the exact same bullshit rules that Twitter have, they don't make any fucking money because there's already a Twitter. You don't need 2 Twitters. There's already a Twitter. So you make whatever the fuck you want to call Torba's platform, and that's the only way for your shit to catch on. And if you don't know, by the way, this is shameful for me to say at this point in time, but I was very active in the _Donald subreddit very early on into Trump's campaign. I was there like during the primaries, and I remember Andrew Torba shilling his shit early on into the Donald. I remember that. I remember before it was even made, they were posting like demo screenshots and their plans as they were making it. I remember this. I was there for it. That's why my username on Gab is Moon, because I was one of the first people to ever register for that site. Like he had a grift. He saw a market. He executed his grift perfectly. He made millions of dollars. And what has he done with it? He's made another centralized platform. And when he tried to integrate into the Fediverse, the anime avatars bullied him so relentlessly that he literally pulled the plug on months of work, because he didn't just like integrate into the Fediverse. He forked Mastodon, completely rewrote all of Gab because it was a piece of shit that was started from a PHP template that he downloaded off of GitHub from the very beginning. And he threw that all out and rebased it off of Mastodon, but painted it green, and then integrated it into the Fediverse because Mastodon comes with Fediverse integration out of the box. And then he later de-integrated it after back and forth, because after the anime avatars bullied him, he made it a one-way like sluice gate, so that Gab posts would flood the Fediverse as one of the largest instances and just fill it up with garbage, but it didn't receive any information. So if you tweeted, it was the only instance like this. If you tweeted at someone from the Fediverse to someone on Gab, you could see their tweet, you could download their tweet, but Gab would not show them your tweet. It was one way, and it was the only instance to ever do this. And then so many people complained that he eventually said, like, we're going to completely federate, but we're not done yet. We're going to come back and make the Fediverse great again. He said that. He said, we're going to make it great again once we're the biggest and best. And it's like, no, it's going to, I actually believe that at this point, something like Post is probably going to become bigger than Gab, because Gab's this insulated little shithole with a fucking psychopath running it. And Graph is kind of chill, and he seems to know what he's doing, at least better than Torba did. So, yeah, fuck. I really, really, really hate Gab. I know if you've been listening for a while, you know I really fucking hate Gab. I hate Gab. It's such a piece of shit, and everyone who's, like, stuck on it is retarded. Nick Fuentes is a prime example of this, by the way. He can't go on the Fediverse. If he made a Post account and started talking to people on Post, he would be anally raped harder than Catboy Cammy raped him, and he would not ever recover from that. Gab is more insulated. The people there are dumber and less funny and less willing to hit below the belt than people on Post. Like, he'll read some comments on his Gab account here in a second, and they're all like bullshit, and he's just whining that people don't like him.
Example, like, let me just find a random post. So like yesterday, for example, I posted on Gab, I said, I'm about to go ham, which means hard as a motherfucker. It means like I'm about to go hard. I'm about to go in, you know? So I just posted, that's it. I'm about to go ham.
He's black. He's black and hip with the young people, chat.
Random post. I don't know what the replies are. Let's take a look together. First reply is from Psychosis, and it says, sorry to hear your bitches got ganked. And then it's 3 pictures of Jews who have been arrested for sex crimes with big stars of David over their faces.
Those were people from America First, by the way. From what I understand, the Jews he's talking about are like people that he knew, and that's why it was posted. And he's not mentioning that. I could be wrong, but that's what someone told me.
And the implication is like, those are my people or something.
Oh,
Like, I'm
he doesn't
Jewish or
mention that.
something.
Okay.
And he's saying these Jewish sex criminals are my people, and he's saying sorry that they got caught. That's reply number 1. So I go on Gab, I'm hyped up. I'm like, okay, we're back. And I go on Gab and I go, we're about to go ham. First reply is, you're a Jewish sex criminal. Okay, thanks. Here's another one. The Twizzle, this is the second reply, says, you're about to do nothing except sit there and use N-word speak. Ham, middle finger emoji. Go back to your multi-culti wonderland where you belong. You don't fit in over here. That's the second reply. Third reply, shut up, Wiener. Let's see. What else do we have? One just says faggot. Anti-Trump Nazi hunter says, is that code for giving someone a hand job?
Wait, hold up. Who is this? How are you replying to a chat? Historically, does the chat not sync with the video? How is Bastard Gas, this dear man, talking to me from the past? I don't understand.
Reply number 5. And so it just goes on and on like this. And with everything that I post, this is the quality of replies that you're getting. I'll give you another example. Let me see. What else have I tweeted?
I can't tell if he's simping for Gab or like upset. He's like, yeah, people are making fun of me, but they're calling me a faggot while they do it. Isn't that base, guys? Isn't Gab great?
By the way, I posted on Gab. I said Gab should ban all women. I got ratio 2-1. 2,000 replies calling me an incel and little Nikki, things like that, because I don't want women on the platform. Let's see here. There's one in particular, which is just.
I'll reiterate it, by the way.
I posted.
Women, I firmly believe that if you hate women, you're a homosexual, and I think that Nick hates women because he's gay. I can't see it any other way. Someone I mentioned this last stream, but someone called me out on it. It was I can't remember exactly what I said, but he said I made a logical contradiction by mentioning that women could vote in the Weimar Republic. And I brought that up, and people were like, that's a good thing that people could vote in the Weimar. Like, my point was that if you're going to like 1488 LARP, women voted for Hitler. That was my point. It's like if that's you're not going to be able to. Now I think that was something because Hitler was regressive, right? He wanted more traditional gender roles, so it was something like only like 35% of women voted for Hitler. But my point was that you need, if you want to enact political change, you will need to do so with the assent of women because they are 51 or 52% of the population. And Nick Fuentes' platform of fuck all women. I don't want to talk to women. Women gross me out. Women have cooties. I don't want women even on my Gab because that will offend me. Like you're not gonna win anything doing that. You're just gonna look like a homosexual.
A week ago, I said, "Can we get SpongeBob on Gab?" That was my post 6 days ago. Can we get SpongeBob on Gab? And then somebody replied, "Shut the fuck up, K-word. Shut the fuck up." Somebody said, called me a kike. First saying, can we get SpongeBob on Gab? Shut the fuck up. We have a country to save. Brain dead, inanimate object that Gab needs.
These are great. Oh my god, my mind's changed on Gab. These people are fucking funny.
These are the kinds of who the F are you, F off, N-word lover.
And supposedly these are at random. These aren't like a highlight of the best responses.
Yeah, so that's just how it is. It's I don't know. I mean, for so long I was against text censorship.
Oh no!
I think I'm for it. You
know, oh my god!
I almost want to go back to Jack Dorsey and Zuckerberg and be like, listen, I hear it now. I see it. I get it. I didn't really get it before. Now I think I...
Can you believe this? Nick Fuentes' chat, that he's saying that he's for censorship now because they called him the K slur, which is a slur against people of blue heart color, by the way, not against people without color. I can't. What a take. Here's this awesome platform that doesn't have censorship. I love Andrew Torba and Gab. Censorship is bad. And then he joins it and is like, stop talking about SpongeBob, you fucking queer. And he's like, no, I can't handle this. I need to go back.
See it. I think I know what you're going for there. Listen, I'm not like them. I'm not like them. I'm normal. I can post about sports. I can post about normal things. Please let me back on Twitter. Please, I'll do anything. Just let me back on Facebook. Or Facebook's actually just as bad. Or Instagram or something. I could post normal. I could be a pro-social person. I'm not like them. I think we just got off on the wrong foot. There's been a big misunderstanding. I just like to post funny things, relatable posts about breakfast food in the office. Just, come on, just let me back on. Yeah, so that's... No, I'm kidding, of course. No, fuck them. But it's like, you go on Gab, and it's just abuse. Now, listen, I mean, I think it's funny, but it's just, I just can't read my replies anymore. Every reply is just like I posted the other day about that DoorDash thing, how they put the picture of the DoorDasher to guilt trip you and everything. I posted that on Gab, and half the replies are like women saying, so what you're saying is you're too lazy to make your own food? It's like, there are people like that in the world. They used to be like that on the YouTube and Facebook comment section. You can't post anything. The reply's always going to be negative. That's like a very real phenomenon of like a terminal television viewer is to just be, have something to say about everything.
That's true.
Or a YouTube comment.
I'm going to be very ironic about that. Yeah. I think like... It's very frustrating when you listen to someone who is... Oh, I'll give you an example. I watched YMS, the gay guy who wants to fuck wild cats. I watched him and his friends do a live viewing of Tariq Nasheed's Buck Breakin', which is one of the funniest movies ever made. It's an instant classic. It's up there with The Room in terms of per minute laughing hysterically at insane shit on the television. And these people, they take this video, which is distilled comedy, essence of comedy, and they watch through it and they get offended and have to apologize and go like, oh, he's being anti-Semitic again. Oh, obviously that's not true. And they have to they can't even get through it. It took 4 hours, maybe even more. I think 6 hours for them to review Buck Breaking, because they had to stop it so frequently to make sure that every instance of wrongthink was corrected on the fly. They couldn't just let something funny play. You know what I mean?
Phenomenon, I guess. But so you got to get on there. So that we can change the ecosystem. I view Gab like Mars right now.
He's asking for backup.
Gab is sort of like the planet Mars. It's completely inhospitable.
He needs his fan zone to join Gab and then down. I think you can down Gab, right? Why is there no dislike button? I swear to God, there was a dislike button on this fucking. Did he remove the dislike button? Oh, you know what it is? Gab used to have a dislike button, but when they switched over to Mastodon and just stole Mastodon's code and repurposed it, Mastodon didn't have a dislike button, and he doesn't know how to add a dislike button with ActivityPub because there's no point to a dislike button on ActivityPub. So there is no dislike button anymore. No, I don't want to like it. Heaven forbid.
Life. You cannot live on Mars unaided. You cannot live on Gab. It's inhospitable to human life. But like some are saying that we should terraform Mars. They're saying we should nuke Mars, drop nuclear bombs on Mars, change the atmosphere, create a atmosphere that contains oxygen and things. In the same way, we need to nuke Gab. We need to blast Gab with groypers. We need to bombard Gab with groypers and create an ozone layer, create a climate where human beings can thrive.
What we need to do is, Gab is like Mars, and we need to lower some sort of glass dome with a big iron door, and we'll call this the safe space. We need to lower this giant safe space onto Gab so that I am allowed to talk about SpongeBob without being called a kike. This is very important, Groypers. We need to do this today. We need to get this set up so that I can get my message out there to the Martians, that I'm actually based in Red Pilled and not a homosexual.
So that's sort of the similar thing. That's what we have to do to Gab, is we have to crash land. Right now we're in sort of like a biodome. You know, we're in some kind of like artificial human habitat right now. We're not reading replies. We're reposting each other. You know, we're sort of insulated from the elements. But we would like to blow up Gab with Groypers so that it becomes hospitable. So that's why Groypers got to get on there. But follow me there, and follow me on Telegram. While I had a nightmare the other day that I got banned on Telegram. I legitimately had a nightmare that my account was labeled a troll account, and then I couldn't post on Gab or Telegram. I mean, I couldn't post on Telegram.
Wow.
Or a spam, whatever it is. Because I know Alex Jones, his is labeled a scam for some reason, and I know a lot of the TRS guys, they can't display their channels on an iOS device.
Well, that's not his fault. The guy that runs Telegram is actually extremely fortunate that he was able to get that compromise out. iOS, in case you don't know, if you use Apple phones, fuck you. Apple phones have this built-in bullshit iOS marketplace, and it heavily restricts what kind of apps can be on it, and it imposes these arbitrary limitations on apps like Telegram, saying these channels have to be banned. So if you want to play ball with iOS and be on the Apple marketplace, you have to jump through all these fucking hoops and do whatever Apple says, or they'll just delete you instantly. And that, by the way, should be illegal, because in the 1990s, I believe Microsoft made it impossible for you to uninstall. I think it was something like you couldn't install a different browser. You couldn't install a different browser. You had to use Microsoft Internet Explorer. And then Netscape Navigator sued Microsoft and said that was like a monopoly. They used the trust bust on Microsoft to say that you can't say that people can't use different software just so that they have to use your software. And they won that. And that's why we had Netscape Navigator, and that's why we eventually got Firefox, and that led to Chrome. And now, 20 years later, we have iOS and Android even saying you have to use our marketplaces, otherwise go fuck yourself. And we're going to impose whatever rules that we want, and we're going to take 33% off our marketplace for every transaction made on your app. And it's just like, fuck you. Fuck these people. But Apple's worse than Android. And it's easier to install a second marketplace on Android than it is for Apple. So stop. Don't use Apple shit. Someone says in chat, it was they bundled IE with Microsoft. It was created an unfair advantage. Yeah. Well, there you go. If just bundling stuff was the threshold for monopoly unfair advantage in the 90s, almost every major company would be sued for antitrust today. And really, they need to be. Alternative to iPhone? I'm not like a big mobile phone person. I use a Huawei because I love China. And I have a chip on the back of my head that shocks me if I say anything negative about China. I love China. But actually, I wouldn't suggest Huawei because I've noticed that default apps on it have advertisements, and it's like I don't want ads on my fucking folder. In my it says look, I have on my phone. It says less than 1.5 gigabyte of storage left, and then I click so it notifies me that I have limited space, and then I click the button, right, and then the cleaner runs, and it says, oh, we cleared up all this shit, or it calculates it, and I click the clean up button, and then it cleans it up. And then I get a screen that says Sudoku, classic Sudoku puzzle. Sudoku puzzle game is a welcome and a ... install now. It's like, so they prompt me to delete temporary files off my phone. And then when I do it, I'm presented with an advertisement for a Sudoku game. It's like, fuck you, Huawei, motherfucker. And fuck John Cena too, you fuck boys. So I probably won't get a Huawei again because I really don't like being advertised to. Unless I explicitly opt in for advertisements like I do with Brave, it's like that should be something that I have to choose. You know what I mean? And it should not be on default. I paid you fucking money for a phone. I donated money directly to the Chinese central bank for this goddamn telephone. I don't need ads on my phone further deriving me of my time and attention. You already got what I paid you for, you fuckers. Bing chilling. Yeah, exactly, fucker. I'll let this play for another minute or so, and then I'm done listening to Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, so I had a scary dream about that, and I woke up, and I'm like, phew. Thank God I'm still on Telegram. I don't even like Telegram, but whatever. Anyway, so that's that. I have a couple of other announcements. Tomorrow, I'll be debating Dave Smith on this channel at 9 o'clock Central. So you won't have to go anywhere else for it. It's going to be hosted by The Kill Stream, moderated by Ethan Ralph. Libertarian Dave Smith tomorrow, 9 o'clock Central here on cozy.tv/Nick.
I think Nick
That'll be a lot of fun.
I think Nick's at risk of suicide.
Everybody keeps saying, like, oh, Dave Smith, he's so smart. He is a smart guy. But I just don't think people know who they're dealing with here. I'm just different. I'm built different. I'm a genius. I'm a savant. And it's just going to be a sad day for libertarians because I think Dave Smith is the only one left who isn't cringe. All the libertarians...
Oh, my God. Yeah, the libertarian guys with Asian wives are so cringe, but the alt-right cat boys are not. Nick Fuentes running around supermarkets getting rejected by women, that's totally base and tradcat. Him going on television shows and yelling at women and saying that he's never felt the touch of a woman in his entire life, not even his mother, that's totally base. It's actually super cringe to be libertarian, but to be Nick Fuentes is actually super base. Nick Fuentes is so base that he has to hook up. I click one link over. I see Ethan Ralph is live streaming. And this is what he has to...
versus Stardust, 6 p.m. We moved it up 30 minutes.
This is what he has to buddy up with. This is not cringe, by the way. This is actually base. This right here, this is base. If he does kill himself, I wouldn't be surprised. Nick Fuentes is like, he's fucked up his whole life before it even began, right? So what do you do? Like, if you're Nick Fuentes, like, what do you do to like make your life not shit? You can't fly. Literally, he can't fly. Literally, he can't own a bank account because he's like on a terrorist watch list and shit. And the only people that he can associate with are like Ethan Ralph and Beardson. Beardson, who's busy posting Where's my anime feet picture? There's my anime feet picture. Posting shit like this on Gab. And the only platform that he's willing to post on is one that openly ridicules him anytime he says anything. Like, what a disaster. You can't even talk to your sister. I think he has like a twin sister, and she's like a lesbian in a relationship with a black woman. So he can't exactly have like a wholesome family get together with his own siblings because he believes that she's subhuman just by being a woman, and then he also believes that she should be killed because she's gay, even though he's also gay. Just a disaster. Stream snipe the kill stream. Fuck that. This dude, you know what he does now? He just plays this intro for like 30 minutes. This is it. He's been streaming for 15 minutes and he hasn't even started. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I started my stream at 5:45 and I just played some bullshit animation for 15 minutes before even saying anything? He's trying to get his number up is what I think it is. He's got 150 viewers on whatever the fuck that is, Cozy TV, and then this is a risky load because the Odyssey keeps having porn on the front page recently. Oh, this is Nick Fuentes versus Dave Smith. This is that thing we just heard about, chat. What coincidental timing. So his big... And this site barely even fucking works anymore. So 150 on this, and 150 on Cozy. So he's got a good 300 to watch Nick Fuentes. God, Nick Fuentes has fallen so far. You remember how big he was at his peak when he did the whole Groyper shit, and the guys were showing up at Conservative Inc. during that meeting where like a gay wounded veteran, like a gay black veteran, was on the stand, and the guys like, how does anal sex help conservatism or something? There's a really simple, like, pithy line like that, and it left them utterly floored. They had no idea how to respond, and that was all at Nick's command. And now he's like commanding 300 people to go on Gab and White Knight for him in the comment section. It's just crazy. I do feel bad for him. I think it's like, it's over his head. You know what I mean? I said this before, but I really think it happened too early in his life, and it happened too fast. He caught on too fast for his own good. He didn't really have time to adjust and learn as he went along. It was just sort of like it happened all at once. Anyways, I don't mean to rattle on, but I did find that was actually pretty good. That little like 8 minutes of Fuentes talking, that's pretty funny. Anyway, speaking of Ralph, I'm done giving him my view. This is hotly debated. We don't know what to think about this, but this came out recently. It was only just recently added to the public records, and we don't know what to think about it. So, just as a quick overview, on October 17th, there was, according to the records, which didn't show up until early December, Ralph was charged in Nevada County, which is Northern California, where Faith lives, for disobeying domestic relations court order. And then on November 6th, he was charged with a second Class A misdemeanor in Nevada County for disobeying a domestic relations court order. And now he has, on January 24th, 2022, an arraignment at the Nevada County Sheriff's Office, or at the court. And the weirdest thing is this, if it wants to load, on November 8th, it says declaration in support of arrest warrant, and then district notice to appear sent to Ralph, and then a hearing set on the 24th and bail set on, or sorry, this happened on the 13th of December when this showed up. A hearing set for the arraignment on the 24th of January, and bail set. Bail added to the disobeying domestic relations court order, notice to appear. So I don't know how this happened. I don't know if he got arrested physically. I don't know if he got arrested, like, because, you know, he likes to announce that he's at a certain casino at a certain time in proper Nevada, not Nevada County, California. So I'm wondering, did he get arrested there, and then they just booked him at the Sheriff's County, you know, the Las Vegas Sheriff's Department, they booked him for him? Or did he get like a notice from the court saying, we need you to appear in court on the 24th, and he just said like, oh yeah, okay, I'll be there, and because it's a misdemeanor, like I really don't know what to expect, and it's hotly debated because he's active on those days. He was like live streaming and shit on the 13th. So how did he get arrested on the 13th? It really feels like he just got the notice that he had a warrant out for his arrest, and he like called the court, or had his attorney in the area call the court and say like, you'll be there, we'll be there for the Zoom conference or whatever. So I really don't know. And I don't know, like, his trial, I think it's a trial. I think that he's actually going to have his freedom, his free status as a free man determined on January 8th, that same month. So it's very possible that he will go to jail for the revenge pornography in Virginia, and then he will be in jail and put into the courtroom for the 24th for his arraignment in Nevada County, and they'll do that over Zoom. And then I'm thinking, like, what if he's convicted for that, and he gets another, like, 6 months in Nevada County? Are they going to, like, have him serve 6 months in Virginia, and then fly him to Nevada County to serve another 6 months again in California for violating the domestic order? Like, what could possibly? I really don't know, and I would be interested in hearing what someone who is actively involved in law thinks about this. Maybe Rekieta. That would be a good topic for. He's busy though. He's like streaming to like 1 million people every day now about that taser cop or whatever the fuck. After he immediately segued from Rittenhouse to this woman who was a cop who tased someone. So I don't know if he has time, but I would love to hear his thoughts on this, because I really don't know. That would be. I have varying opinions about this. I don't wish bad things on Ralph because he's very funny, and anyone who voluntarily associates with Ralph, like May, is going to get what they fucking deserve. And I don't need to like wish evil upon them because it's going to happen regardless, right? But I don't know. I think the funniest possible thing would be for him to just be labeled a sex offender. Like, just because he loves to call everyone a pedophile now. So now if he ever runs around calling people pedophiles, they can just say, well, between you and me, Ralph, there's only one sex offender between us. And then all he can do is squeal and cry about it, right? But on the other hand, if he got completely fucked by the court system and had to serve 2 sentences back to back in 2 different jurisdictions, that's also pretty funny. Like on a cosmic irony scale, that's pretty funny. But at the same time, it does derive of us of content, except, oh shit. I'm gonna have to ask my chat. I really want to play this. I'm gonna ask chat right now on the eCeleb chat. Oh god, my site's slow as shit. Why is this happening? Does anyone have that clip of Ralph coping about doing his show from jail? ? Because I tuned in because they were making fun of him in chat. So I tuned in to see what he was saying. And I swear to God, Ralph was saying that if he went to jail, he would legit find a way to conduct the show from jail. He unironically said that he would find some way to do it. Either writing letters to Gator, and then Gator would read his letters as a form of stream. So he would still do the kill stream from jail by corresponding with Gator via prison letters. Or, like, I don't know, like I remember my grandfather had an old police recorder, with those little mini cassette tapes in it. So he could have like a police recorder in his cell, and he could read the newspaper, right? Because they get the newspaper in jail. And he could read the newspaper and flip through it and then have his police recorder, and he could just like give his takes as he's reading the news, the physical newspaper. And he could mail those cassette tapes to Gator, and Gator could just let them run. And that way he wouldn't have to miss class at his, at college, do his community college stuff. He wouldn't have to miss any of those classes, just play the cassette tapes. And then, you know what? I think that's great. That's unironically fucking awesome, because Ralph isn't stressed when he does this, right? He's not looking at chat and being grumpy and grunting and arguing with people. He's just reading the newspaper, and his cellmate, Ziggy, a black guy, or like a tweaker Mexican, is sitting there and he's reading the newspaper. And he's reading about this shit, and he's saying like, oh, this fucking guy is in jail because he shot someone, but the guy was like robbing him. So why did he even get arrested? And then Ziggy would chime in and say that one time he was breaking and entering, and the guy pointed a gun at him. And Ziggy's like, if he had shot me, I wouldn't hold it against him. Thank God he didn't kill me while I was robbing this house. But if he did, I totally get it. It's my fault. I shouldn't have been robbing his house for coke money. But that would be a 1,000 times more interesting than Ralph's current show. And he could have like a panel. He could get together a panel of inmates coming and going. You'd have people are constantly leaving jail, right? So it would be like a rotating cast of people, and they would just sit around the tape recorder with their newspaper, and they would give their takes. And that would be literally 1,000 times funnier and more interesting than anything Ralph has done in the past 3 years. And he wouldn't have to be distracted by like the goings on of the chat moderation, because whatever chat said doesn't matter because he can't see it because it's happening on the internet, which he doesn't have access to. I'm just saying, like, okay, if Ralph was smart or clever or funny, good humored, whatever the fuck, this is a fantasy, right? There's always a way to do something interesting with your situation. And I don't know if he has the proper disposition required to do something like this, but that I guess it's possible. I mean, sure, why not? He was like talking about how they give him iPads and shit. So I guess he just thinks they'll let him, like, it's my job, okay? I have to be able to stream and let people argue and yell the N-word at each other. That's my job, okay? You can't keep me from my job in jail, so they have to give him an iPad. But my idea is better. Just get a tape recorder. That's not a threat to anyone. Oh, well. I don't think that they can find the clip in chat, so you'll just have to take my word that that Gator unironically did say that they give iPads to people in jail nowadays, so it'll be okay, and we'll keep doing the show even if you're in jail. And Gator has further committed himself to standing by Ralph for forever. I just realized that if you didn't have any idea who Ralph was, you would assume I'm just making this up. You would assume that I'm talking about this guy who's facing like revenge pornography charges in 2 different districts, and he has a co-host named Gator who's like a weirdo that just does whatever he says, like a cartoon henchman, and he's going to go to jail and keep doing live streams from prison. You would just assume that I'm full of shit. I'm a crazy person. I'm just talking to myself. I have no fucking idea about what's going on. Yeah. Alternative theory, by the way. I think that Gator, I've noticed in my observations, and I dare not speak ill of Gator, because Gator is crazy. Gator believes that I am a demon. And in general, I think he just says whatever he wants, so he's less interesting. But I've noticed that he tends to not associate himself with, I don't even want to say it. I'm not going to say it. You know what? If I say it, something less, it's like a law of physics, right? You observe a particle, and the mere act of observing that particle changes it. The mere act of bouncing light off that particle will affect it and change it, so that he just can't do it, right? Because you can't graph it, because the observing it itself changes the particle. It's like that with Gator. Gator is someone who, if you try to understand and you put too much thought into him, it changes it, and you're always wrong, because he's like defiant. He wants to prove people wrong and be weird. So if I say what I think is going to happen, which would be really funny, the Gator particle will be observed, and his state of matter will be changed, and it will backfire in my face. So I'm just not going to say it, and I'm gonna make you think. You're just gonna have to guess whatever you think. I said the sentence. I think that Gator, and then I trailed off. You can fill in that blank with anything you want. I'll read some funny ones. Here, spit it out, chat. Poll. There is no poll. It's an open choice question. This isn't ABCD. Gator will be discovered as a new element. Gator is panicking now. Gator is a based Chad. Gator is trying to take over. Gator will troon out. Gator killed a child. Gator uses alchemy. Gator sneed. Gator will buy programming sucks. One of these options is true. Gator is a rape victim. Oh no, don't say that. That's mean. Okay. I have bonus content, actually. One more thing I want to do, because I actually thought I had enough to do this. Let me see if I can get this to work, actually. It's going to work for me? Okay. Okay. This is Temple OS that you're seeing on your screen. And I think it's include... Uh-oh. I think it's main.hc. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I fucked it up. I think I fucked it up. Was it? It definitely was not main.hc. Okay, let me restart Temple OS. You can definitely see it. Oh, you can't see it. I'm a retard. Okay, now you can see it. My bad. Let me restart this actually. Yes. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna run it. Right? Okay. Okay, this is made by Crunklord420, the guy that runs our Fediverse instance. He made this in Holy See, literally Holy See. If I actually go back to this just real quick, and I go back to studio mode, I can show you. He made this in Holy See, and they even have like a cool thing where the Holy See language on this program shows up as like a papal state yellow, which is quite cool. But I'll go back to the game. And I'll hide this. Okay. Now, game. Instructions say, get to the end stage door, use laser gun to destroy enemy and dirt blocks, use grapple hook to swing off most blocks, hold jump midair, release while holding desired direction. And then there's some instructions. So, this is 60 frames per second, Holy See, on Temple OS, running through an emulator. And I'm going to try double jumping here. I have to watch out for the glowies. I'm already taking damage. I'm really fucking this up, chat. Ah! Okay, here's the hard part, right? This is like a platformer, so I have to be careful. And that's the car. When you shoot the glowies and they die, they blow up into a bucket of chicken. Which is a nice touch. Oh wait, I'm doing it too. No! Fuck. Oh, I saved myself. You can actually get some momentum. Oh no, I fucked up. I'm dead. The glowies got me, chat. I'm actually terrible at platformers, in case you don't know. I just want to set the bar. I just want to beat this one level. I've not actually done it so far. Oh, I fucked up again. In case you're wondering, let me give you some background on my experience in platformers. I never beat Super Mario when I had a Super NES as a kid. Oh, you fucker, push me back. They gave me a boost. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore them now. I don't even need the glowies. Oh shit. Why is it? I'm being fucked over here, okay? Cranklord has clearly designed these as defective. And I cannot... It should not be throwing me that way. I'm getting fucked over. This is like the Dark Souls of platformers. This is actually Terry's life. He was so good. He could get to the end stage, which was getting to the store to buy his Coke. Oh, why did I do that? Fuck. I saved myself. Okay, I've gotten further than I've gotten before. No. What? That's bullshit. I should not have gone straight up. Get good, Shrub. Sultan of Shasta. That's true. He did like Shasta, didn't he? Okay. I just want to get to the end of the stage so I can prove that I'm based. And I'm actually really good at computers, and I know how to use Holy See. Okay, it's down there. Oh shit, I fucked up. Ah, get away from me. I did it. I'm on level 2 now. Watch, I noticed that there's like a hand grenade. You can throw like 10,000 stick grenades in every direction. Now you try getting performance like this, throwing 10,000 grenades on a modern game. You can only do that with blazing fast, zero ring security Holy See. Built by God. These graphics, these are the exact colors, literally, by Holy See lore. These are the exact colors that God wanted in an operating system. God told him these colors were what he needed, and that anything excessive to this was just bloat. It was unnecessary. It was a detriment to the computer user experience and a disgrace. a might have been lettered in. No. Yes, 640 by 480, exactly as God intended. There's not one pixel on the screen that should not be here. Meanwhile, modern computers, millions of pixels, and for what, chat? They do nothing. They're garbage. This is like a secret. What's up here? Oh no, I fell through. That's a bug. Fix your collision graph, chat, or crunk, whatever the fuck. I don't think I'm good enough to get up there. Oh, I did get up there. What even is? What is the point of this? I thought it was a secret. It is not. This is better than most indie games because it's low res. You should actually see the code to it. It's really impressive. I'll actually show you real quick. I have to delve into the mathematical side of programming anymore. But Holy See was just made by him, so it doesn't have a lot of the luxury features that programmers are used to these days. Oh, I'm sorry, I muted myself. I was just saying that the code that I showed you was mostly math, and it's based off C, which is a rudimentary language, and because the compiler was just, how do I get past here? Was just made by Terry Davis. It doesn't have a lot of luxury features that modern programming languages enjoy. This might be the end of the road, chat. I don't know how I'm going to get past this. Can I break through here? Can I use the sticks? What are these stick grenades for? Maybe I can. Nope. What is a compiler? So a processor uses a very, very, very rudimentary type of language called assembly. Assembly is direct instructions to the processor for what to do, and it's extremely hard to understand and keep track of. So everything made today uses a higher level of programming language that takes code like the C, the Holy C that you saw, and converts it to assembly. And a compiler is extremely difficult to make, and assembly on its own is hard. So trying to make it so that human readable code is then converted to assembly is itself quite difficult. And it usually takes, oh my god, he added like a swing. Holy shit. This is legitimately better than most indie games. Oh my god. Oh no! The glowies. Ah! Oh, I fucked up. So it's very difficult for, my point is that it's very difficult for one person to develop a compiler. That's why Terry is so famous, because even though he is crazy, he made something extremely, extremely cool that most people wouldn't be able to make by themselves, even if they weren't disabled with schizophrenia like Terry Davis was. Ah, you fucker! Wish I had a car to run these over with. Attack on glowies. Okay, I gotta like combine this with the double jump so I can get through this part. I know. Ah. Okay, I'll call it quits here in a second, but I'm glad I got to play with the cool rope feature, because that's really impressive. It's so smooth too. Like there's little glitches because he had to like write all the rendering code by himself and stuff, so it's not perfect, but this is 60 frames per second. I've played Life is Strange 2, which looks worse than this and doesn't run at 60 frames per second, chat. So, okay, I'm fucked on this one, I guess. Ooh, I'm getting better, chat. No, not anymore. I just slid my face across the spikes. Okay, one more One more run. And I think he even made the graphics. He made like a tool to convert the images to the format that Holy or Temple OS can actually use. Because it can't use like a JPEG. It's like it has to use like a specific format. Oh wait, I can get rid of the glowies here. I think when they die, they drop buckets of fried chicken, which is a nice touch. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm done. I don't want to bore people with my horrific platforming skills. You can actually, if you want to download this, it is completely free. You can go to what's this site? Oh, it's Dig Game. Hold up, let me find it. Actually, it's on my other thing. Dig Game. What is the URL for this? Okay, it's scumgames.neocities.org. And it has a link to the repositories with instructions on how to set up Holy See and to virtualize the environment. Hold up. So just go to scumgames.neocities.org and it'll teach you how to set up Temple OS and play the game by yourself. And in case you're wondering if it's free software, it is. I host this website, and I've actually seen this being referenced on Twitter. It's actually gotten some traction. It's become a more popular license that Crunklord has come up with. He's not a lawyer, but he had an interesting idea. So I've given him the domain, and I've gotten my first Cloudflare complaint about this domain just recently. If you go to plusnigger.autism.expose, and I'll put this on the screen for you in case you'd like to see this license yourself, it is plusnigger.autism.expose. And basically what you do is you take an existing license like MIT and you just add plusnigger to it. And I'll read you the terms of the license now. The plusnigger license is a license modifier that requires the inclusion of the word nigger in the license file. Why? Because including the word nigger in a license file that must be distributed with the software will ensure you that, 1, the software will not be hosted or used by Western corporations that promote censorship. 2, the software will not be used or hosted by compromised individuals that promote censorship. And 3, the user of the software will be immune to attacks that would result in the censorship of others. There's a FAQ attached to this license. Do I need to include nigger in my code? No, the inclusion of the license file is enough. The plusnigger modifier has no legal significance for any license that already requires redistributions of the license file. Why quote-unquote nigger? The word nigger was chosen as it is deemed heretical in the West, regardless or lack of context. And then down here, what if someone removes the modifier? He suggests cancel them on Twitter for using code derived from heresy. So the game that you just saw play is completely free. It's available on our Git. It's available on, what is this? scumgames.neocities.org, and it is licensed under MIT plusnigger, which you can see right here. So I mentioned this before, but congratulations to Crunk. This is really cool. It's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting. That's actually my first experience playing with Temple OS. Apparently it's like a tinkerer's paradise. You can do whatever you want with the operating system because there's no like security. So you can just run arbitrary code in the console and it works just fine. So Crunk dedicated himself over several months to setting that up, and it plays fine. It plays pretty great. It's really fast, 60 frames per second. The collision physics and shit is all pretty fucking cool with the ropes and shit. Better than a lot of games that come out and get actual money these days. So, I think that's it. Actually, I got a message that suggests... Oh, the Ralph thing. Let's see. Only a few seconds each. Okay, fuck it. I'll play this. We'll watch some Ralph stuff, and then we'll wrap up. This is Ralph talking about going to jail. by the way.
This is getting so good. I have to say, there's this Spurg who's wrong about everything about my life, by the way. He keeps claiming that I got arrested on the contempt stuff in California. I didn't. They just sent me a letter and told me to appear. So
Was it the same retard that claimed you had my docs? Is that the same retard?
Yeah. They didn't do
Of course.
They just sent
the
me a
guy that's
letter.
literally wrong about literally everything.
They just sent me a letter and told me to show up in court. Now, if I didn't show up, they would. I'm sure they would come arrest me. But yeah, that didn't happen. So.
You mean this stupid dumbass that leaked all of his emails with certain parties?
It literally says bail
It's
set.
so- in the ass.
and
It's
says
just so
arrest
pathetic.
warrant.
Now I think this might be a different one. I don't know, but no, I wasn't. It was just a letter they
John
sent.
sent $3.
But he admits that he does have to appear in court in Nevada County for his restraining order violation.
Hey, by the way, the dumb faggot is still arguing. I could literally go down there and get the letter, but it doesn't serve my purposes to do that. It just serves my purposes to laugh and chuckle that you think, like, why would I lie about being in jail for one day? And then even if I was in jail for one day, I got back out immediately, even by your own mentality. So what is the big... It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. Like,
What
you're
is the
that
big
big
deal
dumb
of going
faggot.
to jail?
Tranny from
Well,
what
no,
I've been
now
told,
now
actually.
that
Okay, one more. Actually, two more.
Well, even
now
people...
it's the mental gymnastics trying to be like, no, I'm totally right. No, please don't. Oh God, no. You
Well,
know,
even
it's
people in the thread, it says in the fucking thing that they're citing that they sent me a letter. It actually says that, and I have the letter downstairs, and that's what they did. So, anyway, I don't know.
It's just
Now,
like
if you
he
didn't,
just doesn't want to get blown the fuck out for being wrong. Yet
Richmond
again.
police are not going to come arrest somebody on some shit like that. There's no point to arrest. Now, if I didn't show up on the date specified, they would.
Yeah, that might happen.
Yeah, they maybe. Yeah, I was going to say, there's people who don't show up for court in Richmond that they don't have necessarily. But yeah, they probably would eventually come arrest me for that. But on something, no. They just sent me a letter and told me to show up. So I was actually surprised too. I thought that they would serve me, at least have some type of official service, because I could just, now I'm on air saying I got the letter now. But I never acknowledged that until today. I could have just said, I never got that letter or something, whatever. It didn't come through.
Well,
but
now
did.
the cope is going to be, oh, well, we totally made it up just so Ralph would say it on air. Well,
It's
he would
not
have to
as-
go either
like,
way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know.
I don't. Why does? How is it not cope to try to spin this as a win? Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to court again because I keep violating my restraining order because I go on Twitter and I say that my girlfriend who has a restraining order against me has a loose pussy. Like, why? Is that Chad? I don't know. I guess I'm like a detached lunatic. Is it Chad to be under arrest for violating a restraining order because you can't stop running your fucking mouth and calling your girlfriend who has the mother of your child who is literally the mother of your child, who has your child, has sole custody of your child, who you're blood related to, your only child, your only male child? Is it like base? Is it like super Chad to like say that she's a loose whore? I don't know. I'm like a you know, I live in my crack shack in Serbia. I don't know these things. Diddler Dax would say yes. Alphas break the law, perhaps. Chad, but also cringe. Very base. Okay, we'll do it. Is it based to say the mother of your only child is a loose whore? While legally prohibited from it. Okay, yes or no? Let's get an answer to this, and I'll play one more clip.
I'll literally count the super chat. Like, it's insane shit.
They think, Gator, that they're fighting an internet bad guy.
Wait,
Which, you know, make...
my chat. Okay, apparently I can't use the word loose whore in my loose. Can I use a cat? Can I use a cat emoji? Cat emoji. Here we go. Loose cat, while legally prohibited from that. Ask your community. Okay. Oh, surprise! It goes through. No error this time. I'm glad YouTube fixed that fucking error in the time between then and now. Okay, let's finish playing the clip.
Your own conclusions, but they feel like that gives them meaning to their life and that they're fighting the bad man and making the bad man pay, but they don't realize that really they're kind of my own hype squad in a lot of ways, and they always keep some shit stirred up, and I don't really care. I've said it many times, but I get paid either way, and people talk about me. It's nothing like
Every time
The dirtiest secret on the internet.
So Ralph gets paid every time he's mentioned, I guess. I don't know. I've seen every metric you could possibly see about Ralph, and I think it's obviously had a negative impact. And I don't know why you can't admit that and say, like, yeah, these people are like... But I don't know. That would be giving people credit. And really, it's not people from the forum that are ruining him. It's his own decisions. Every time he does anything, he, like, completely fucks himself over. Listen to Jingle Bell Rock. I just don't understand it. Do not understand. I do not understand the mentality where it's like, as long as I'm able, even if I have to mail cassette tapes to Gator from prison, as long as I keep doing the Ralph retort to a couple hundred people a day, I'm winning. I cannot even grasp that mentality. It's so bizarre. Just craziness, chat. Anyways, I'm done. Is there anything that I missed, chat? Any last second requests for content? The poll with 570 votes, 31 to 69% say it is not base to disparage the mother of your only child while legally prohibited from doing so. I'm not doing case cooking. Talk about CRP. I talked about CRP last week. Nothing's changed. No. I'm not doing case cooking tonight. Oh, Hassan. Yeah, Sam Hyde said that Hassan should fight him and that there's $1 million boxing stake if he does that. And apparently Hassan says no. Jim Sterling is crying about a campus. He just, it's probably funny just to look up what he looks like. Jim Sterling. Here we go. Let's take a look at what Jim Sterling looks like this week. It's a race to the bottom.
This video.
Let's mute this shit. Here we go. Hell yeah. Your average British woman. He's losing a lot of weight though. Maybe that's because he does that wrestling shit now. Oh wait, I can't see it. Okay, now look. Look at him. This used to be a man. Used to be a man's man. What has happened? Now he wears a stupid fucking pink top hat, chat, with like cyberpunk goggles and everything's pink and gay all the time. What's happening? Why does he wear a dog collar, chat? Oh my god, I just realized that the googlies, the goggles that he's wearing says they. It has they, them pronoun goggles. That's awesome. I can look at that and go, oh, they don't know what the fuck they are either. I can just meet them on the street and be like, oh, this person is very mentally ill. I should avoid them. I can know that right away just thanks to those goggles. Even if he wasn't wearing the dog collar, I could just say, this person, steer clear of them. Shit's fucked upstairs with this person. Okay. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Last chance. Last chance, chat. The CRP audience... Oh, God. I guess I have no choice. I mentioned that last week, too, didn't I? Okay, 1 second. I will pull that up. I want to show you guys this. In relation... So, last week, Coach did his Project Mayhem, where he ordered all the MGTOW army to rise up and to vandalize federal buildings with toothpicks. Because putting toothpicks in the locks of federal buildings will cause a collapse of society and usher in the MGTOW world order. So they did that, and this is what we get. Do I have to switch to the RU version? Yeah, let me do that. For whatever reason, the .NET version does not load videos as well. And I say that, and then this version is not going to load either. Watch. Oh, I'm gonna be totally cucked, ain't I? I'll let them race. I'll open both versions at the same time, and see which one's one will raise. Oh, neither of them do. Okay, that's what I said. My bandwidth is literally capping out as we speak. I can't even load fucking small videos. All that happens is a guy walks up to a lock by like a vaccine card checkpoint thing, and he just puts a toothpick in a lock of like a storage unit. He doesn't like glue it in or whatever. You could just take like putty, and you could use putty to pull this toothpick out in a second. And I mean, I don't know. I guess Coach is getting what he wants, right? His people are rising up and fighting the man. That's pretty base, right? Okay, what else? Anything else? Lol, wow, great job. I am trying my best here, okay? My site is dying. Barb? I don't know who Barb is. Shield Brave? I already Shield Brave. Professor Chaos. He's not the Chilean Tyler Durden. He's the Chilean Professor Chaos. Trisha. Okay, here I'll do a top. I got some hot goss for you guys. You ready? So Trisha Paytas, who, if you just as a real quick rundown, H3 did a show called Frenemies with Trisha Paytas, who is the most annoying woman on the face of the fucking planet. She's a hobgoblin looking ass like horror on OnlyFans. And H3 is married to, well, he's married to a very special person, and I can't just skip by it. I'm trying my best to not waste time doing this, but I can't. Everyone already knows it's coming. I'm just wasting my time. So H3 is married to Hilla Klein, this woman who he met at a Holocaust Memorial Museum in Israel. That is not a joke. And they ran frenemies with Trisha Paytas, who is now a Jewish convert because she's married to Moses, who is the brother of Hilla Klein. They have become estranged, and the show has since ended, and there is some animus between the two parties, Hilla and Moses and Trisha and H3. And of course, Trisha and Moses decided to get married on Hilla's birthday. So on her marriage photos on all her social media sites are flooded with happy birthday Hilla, which of course upsets her because they are not on talking terms anymore. So now I need to ask you, who's Jewing who? Is Hilla the victim or Trisha the victim? Is Hilla's birthday ruined by this deliberately planned wedding, or is Trisha's wedding ruined by Hilla sending her fans to crash her wedding photos with comments about her birthday? Who's Jewing who, chat? It's a 50-50. Trisha is the victim. Hilla's fans saying happy birthday Hilla on her wedding photos. People feel worse for her. Oh my, really? I disagree. 54 for Trisha. I totally disagree. I don't want to affect the vote though. Yeah, okay. It's about 50-50 in favor of Trisha. But my opinion is, I think that, like, Moses knows his sister's birthday. Okay, that's not an accident. They planned the birthday. I should end the poll because I'm fucking with the results. But they obviously planned the wedding to be on her birthday, and to be a dick because it would ruin her birthday with their shitty ass wedding. I feel like that's entirely intentional. If it was like the day, even if it was like the day before, it would be so much more obvious that. It would be so much less obvious that was the intention. But they planned it for the day of, So there's no way around it. If I'm Gila, I show up to the wedding in a loud outfit and birthday hat. That is written by a woman. That is definitely a post made by a woman. Yeah, I don't know. That's the update on Trisha Paytas. I'll leave it at that. I definitely think that it was a deliberate thing to say "fuck you, Gila." And poor Gila, her husband is sitting there on the H3 podcast inviting porn stars like Bella Dolphin and being like, "Oh, you're the most sexy woman ever." It's literally sitting next to his wife, and she's just like, "Oh." And she has this autistic dead eye stare because she's been killing IDF children, or Palestinian children her whole life. And now she's like married and has this man's children. And she's just like openly humiliated by his comments towards porn stars. And then she's just like thinking back to the only joy in her life. She's just thinking about the good old days. And then she dyes her hair pink to look more like a Zoomer OnlyFans thought. So I feel bad for Gila, kind of. Cup Queen. She has no personality. Yeah, I think that she's autistic. I think that she's literally autistic. She might have PTSD. Like, who knows? She does not have much charisma, which is odd for like a co-host for a TV or a podcast or whatever. Barb, I don't know what's going on with Barb. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm intentionally not keeping track of Chris shit. I would go insane. Gila looks like a goblin demon. Dude, have you seen Trisha? Trisha is literally one of the most ugly women I've ever fucking seen. And she's like deliberately bimbofying herself because that is like a fetish for people. She's so gross. She's so vile. She's so fucking annoying. When she runs her mouth and starts going all bloopity, 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 like talking in 1,000 words a second, just like, shut the fuck up, you fucking goblin. You fucking bulbous goblin. You demon, shut up. It does upset me to some extent to know she's like a multi-millionaire for being like a porn star goblin, that she drives like a pink Rolls Royce. That's frustrating. That makes you think like maybe we do need to distribute the wealth and put all the goblins in a goblin camp. Jealousy? I am jealous of multiple millions of dollars for doing literally fucking nothing besides being a gross goblin. Guarantees, dude, no, it's not a lease. She owns it outright. She bought it on, like, she paid for it in cash because she has millions and millions of dollars. Do you not get it? These people have more money than you'll see in your entire fucking life because they act Jewish on YouTube. It's not like a trick. They're not pretending to be rich. They are fabulously wealthy beyond your comprehension. Where's the Doomslayer? Okay. Anything else? I don't want to think about Trisha Paytas anymore. It's depressing me. Chat. Think about my mentals, chat. What are you doing, chat? Jonathan Yaniv, I don't know what happened to Yaniv. I hope he's dead. Sell feet pick NFTs. Not until January. Keep your eye out for feet pick NFTs. I'll make a guide for using Brave. It's real simple. You just like set it up. I guess I'll make like a little walkthrough. Pete's made a video about how certain comic book characters he masturbates to should be openly declared gay or something. Firefox is based. No, it is not. It's the exact opposite. Any good browsers for Brave? Coincidence detector and ad nauseum, and Bitwarden or that's what I use. The form coding is doing good. I don't want to say much more. I'll do a preview of it in January. When's the next stream? Maybe Maybe on the 31st. No promises. No promises that I'll stream on New Year's Eve. I might. All right. You guys have ran out of things to talk about. I am done. And I will see you guys to be determined. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Long day in the wage cage. I can't wait to lay back and rest. I'm gonna relax and play games, yeah. Pass out and do it again, and I work hard to get paid, yeah. Not much, but I get by. No time to complain though, the sun's up, so it's rise and shine, and I roll out of bed and get dressed. My soul shined and my shirt pressed. Big smile now, I'm looking sharp, but I got a feeling the things are looking fucked, cause it might be a long drive ahead. So I tempt fate by running all the reds. I lean back and cry. I'm trying to crash the car before I head inside, where I greet the big guy. Firm shake, he pulls me aside and says, hey mate, now you know you're a star, my number one. I got a job for you, my son, listen up, cause tonight you have to stay back. And he dumped a stack into my lap. And when you're done with that, just one more task. Can you eat the shit directly from my ask me anything and I'll be there. Just tell me to jump, I'm up in the air. How high now, sir? I'll jump till it hurts. I'm here to serve. My time is cheap, and so's my fee. I won't ever sleep, no, it's for the weak. I'm at your feet until the grave. What better way to live than living like you're fucking slave? But hey, it's just another day in this gay earth. Yeah, I work like a slave, but I gotta earn. I said, man, when you gonna pay me what I'm worth? So he handed me a bucket full of wet dirt. Take your wager, here you go, this is what you are. Not your place at the bottom of the shit pile. So I did just what he said, I took it all. Every single bit of it, I took it all with a smile. This is it, it's your life now. What you think, don't like it too bad. What you gonna do, quit? Gonna do something about it, huh, kid? Nah, you and I both know you ain't gonna do shit. Now get back to the stack double quick, little bitch. But first, if you with a double shift, yes sir, whatever you wish. God damn, I love working for him. So just ask me anything and I'll be down. Just tell me to jump, I'm up in the air. How high now, sir? I'll jump till it hurts now. Cause I'm here to serve. My time is cheap and so's my fee. I won't ever sleep, no, it's for the weak. So I'm at your feet until the grave. By the way, is it okay if I take Christmas holidays? No? Fast of the day's tough and the pay sucks. Yeah, maybe they will say you're a wage cuck, but it's better than being a neat job piece of shit, reject and retard. Even if we cannot keep up, we'll give it everything we've got. I'll let you in on a little secret. I do it all for free, but my name will be framed in the Hall of Greats. Employee of the month with a smile of face. I'll do what it takes to make my place. I'm gonna be the quickest fucker rat in the race. Keep up the pace, come on, we've almost made it now. Don't stop, no taking breaks. Embrace the pain, cause your glory awaits. Taste the flames and exclaim, hail Satan!